Beaten for 9 matches in the league. Quite a change then from the miserable scene at White Hart Lane in September when Spurs lost again at home 2-1 to Everton.
And it's Everton who are going forward with promise, and Spurs who are still playing very shabbily. And Johnson's in there, this is Sheedy!
A defeat there which left Spurs 5th from bottom of Division 1, but from that moment Keith Birkinshaw's side have never looked back. Just 1 week later, Spurs went to Watford, the score being 1-1 when Steve Archibald came back as substitute. 14 goals in his last 16 games has helped lessen, if not heal, the differences between Archibald and Keith Birkinshaw, a manager who enjoys an embarrassment of riches, with a squad capable of fielding a first team unbeaten in the league for over 2 months, and a reserve team currently containing names like Ardiles, Brazil, Price, not to mention the injured Galvin, Mabbott, or the on-loan Garth Crooks.
Certainly it doesn't do any harm if people have got to fight in life. And the lads here, to be in the team, have got to fight to stay in the team. The ones that's out of it have got to fight to try and get into it. And that must be an healthy situation. I would hate it if we got 11 players who didn't even bother looking at the team sheet on a Saturday, knowing that they're going to be in there. It breeds complacency.
With Ozzy Ardiles fast approaching full fitness, Spurs' selection problems will obviously increase. Competition for places is healthy, but it tends to also breed unhappiness and discontent. Alan Brazil, for instance, who suffered a recurrence of his ankle ligament trouble after scoring this goal in a practice match on Thursday, has just been reported as saying he will quit Spurs if he's not back in the first team by Christmas. Is that accurate?
Well, obviously you can't quit a football club, can you? Obviously, I'd love to get in the first team before Christmas. If not, then obviously it's half a season wasted. Obviously, I hadn't planned that. You know, I was thinking it was going to be a great season, and all of a sudden, half a season's gone. So I'm going to have to think about it. Not quitting, but I'm going to have to sit down and think, you know, what's gone wrong? Is it me or what?
Players are bound to be a bit discontented if they're worth a salt, if they're not in the first team. Alan Brazil is probably as good a striker as we've got in this country. But I'm in a situation where I just can't put him in.
Just as big a problem for Keith Birkinshaw is the very public feud with his other Scottish international striker, the transfer-listed Steve Archibald, who is quick to deny that the disagreement between them has helped spark his phenomenal goal-scoring record.
No, it's got absolutely nothing to do with that, Bob. At the end of last season, I changed my game slightly, and I finished the season with a hat-trick, and I scored 6 in the last 6 games, I think it was. So it's nothing to do with my grievance with the manager. It's just a change in my game.
As Archibald makes the run and gets away from Goodyear and scores!
So everything's really going for me. I don't want to leave, but I hope, well, if it comes to the test, I will leave.
It's 23 years since Danny Blanchflower captained Spurs to their FA Cup and League Championship double triumph, and one member of the side, Ron Henry, has remained with the club since. Does Ron think the current squad compare favourably?
I would say the squad actually and the side at the moment is as good as I've seen. The ball game, we used to play it more simply. We had patience on the field, and we never worried about scoring goals. We worried about playing our football, and goals ultimately came.
It's something that I've really wanted ever since I've been at Tottenham, because we do tend to get the double side shoved down our throats, but it's something that we've got to live with and we've got to live up to, really. And I would really leave the club eventually a much happier person if we got a couple of championship wins under our belts rather than having nothing.
We might know a little bit more today because Spurs are away at Norwich and they're going very well as well.